Welcome back once again. As we earlier said, that President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have warmly welcomed President Tshisekedi on his 4th visit to Egypt, and that is commemorating years and years of historical relations between the two countries, and is marking also the strong bond between Egypt and Congo. Also, this visit is coinciding with the 66th anniversary of the Congolese independence, that is dated on the end of this month, which is June. More details coming up. I'm very delighted also to be having with us in the studio for more details over this very important topic, Dr. Nabil, Nagem International Relations Expert. Good morning, Dr. Nagem.
Good morning, Dina, and thanks for having me here.
It's a real pleasure to have you in the breakfast show. We're going to go off to the coming report and come back with Dr. Nagem, so stay with us.
President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received President Felix Tshisekedi of the Democratic Republic of Congo on Wednesday. The official spokesperson for the presidency stated that the welcoming ceremony included a guard of honor saluting the visiting president, the playing of the national anthems of both countries, and a group photograph. This was followed by a bilateral meeting between President el-Sisi and the Congolese president, then an expanded session of talks with the delegations of both countries. A luncheon hosted by President el-Sisi in honor of President Tshisekedi and his accompanying delegation followed. President el-Sisi welcomed President Tshisekedi on his 4th visit to Egypt in recent years, reflecting the depth and distinction of Egyptian-Congolese relations. He commended the momentum in bilateral cooperation between the two brotherly nations. President el-Sisi also congratulated President Tshisekedi on the 66th anniversary of Congo's independence, which falls at the end of June. For his part, the Congolese president expressed his appreciation for the warm welcome he always receives during his visits to Egypt, affirming his country's gratitude for Egypt's support in various fields. He also commended the Egyptian president's commitment to developing relations with the Democratic Republic of Congo, as well as Egypt's efforts to promote peace in Africa in general, and in the Democratic Republic of Congo in particular. The official spokesperson explained that the two presidents discussed ways to strengthen bilateral relations between Egypt and the Democratic Republic of Congo. The Egyptian president stressed the need to continue working to enhance trade and investment between the two countries, emphasizing the importance of convening the joint committee and establishing executive programs and mechanisms to monitor progress in bilateral cooperation across various areas of mutual interest. The Egyptian president also highlighted the extensive expertise of Egyptian companies, particularly in the energy and infrastructure sectors, and expressed Egypt's readiness to support the Democratic Republic of Congo in all areas. The president reaffirmed Egypt's full support for the sovereignty, unity, and territorial integrity of the Democratic Republic of Congo, noting Egypt's positive engagement in supporting international and regional efforts aimed at establishing peace and stability in eastern Congo, including through the full implementation of the Washington and Doha agreements. In this context, the Congolese president expressed his appreciation for Egypt's constructive role, while the president affirmed Egypt's continued readiness to exert all necessary efforts to bridge differences and end the ongoing conflict and its humanitarian repercussions. The spokesperson added that the two presidents discussed developments in cooperation among the Nile Basin countries, emphasizing the need to respect international law governing transboundary rivers. In this regard, President Tshisekedi commended Egypt's commitment to consensus and its support for the development aspirations of the Nile Basin countries, stressing his country's keenness to continue and strengthen coordination with Egypt in this matter. The spokesperson indicated that following the talks, the two presidents witnessed the signing of several agreements and memoranda of understanding and then held a joint press conference.
Welcome back once again. Very delighted to be having with us here in the studio Dr. Nabil, international relations expert. Good morning, Dr. Nagem.
Yes, good morning.
This is the fourth Congolese visit to Egypt, but it's not only one of the frequent visits, it's coming at a very important timing. At the same time, coincides with the 66th anniversary of independence in the DR Congo, and comes as a crown or a culmination of mutual agreements and several planning for projects, dual projects and partnerships between the two parts. How would you assess this visit?
As you just mentioned, this is the fourth official visit of the President Tshisekedi to Egypt in a very few years, and it reflects the deep and strong relation between Egypt and Democratic Republic of Congo. For sure, we have to say that it's not today's issue. The relation between the two countries goes back to 1960s because Egypt by then played a quite crucial role to help Jomo Kenyatta to get the independence. And Egypt has really recognized the new independent state and helped a lot through supporting the new regime and through exchanging know-how regarding the infrastructure projects for Congo.
Right. How did this partnership or strong partnership change the issues from symbolic diplomacy to strategic cooperation? How did that evolve?
Because there is sort of common interest between the two countries. Congo is one of the Nile basin countries, and the Great Lake comes from there, and White Nile comes from Congo. So between Egypt and Congo there is the Nile, the water issue. And number two, there is a sort of what you call it a partnership in defense and security issues as well.
Right. How important is the Democratic Republic of Congo within Egypt's broader African policy, especially considering Congo's geopolitical weight, natural resources and influence in general in Central Africa?
Yes, it is very interesting and very strong because Congo is playing quite a crucial role when it comes to the River Nile, and with those sort of projects like the Ethiopian Dam and the other plans to build other dams in the Blue Nile, the relation between Cairo and Kinshasa is going to be very, very serious and very important, because between Cairo and Kinshasa there is a lot of common interests. Number two, when it comes to trade, we do have great bilateral commercial and economical relations, and when it comes to the terrorism and fighting terrorism, there is an agreement between Cairo and Kinshasa regarding training the security officials of Congo and helping the government of Kinshasa to confront the threats of security threats.
How is this encounter be viewed as part of Egypt's strategy to deepen its presence inside Central Africa, and even at the same time strengthen its role as a leading African power?
Definitely, the President of Democratic Republic of Congo shares with the President Sisi all these sort of agenda interests. So the geographical or political situation of Congo helps a lot to strengthen the influence of Cairo alongside Africa. And when the last Nairobi African summit, which has been attended by the French president, it was clear that the partnership between Cairo and other capitals, other important capitals in Africa, are going to be for the common interest of both countries.
His Excellency, the Head of State President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi have emphasized clearly increasing trade and investment with DR Congo, and the same thing was on the other side. So what type of sectors, according to your own assessment, could be offering greatest opportunities for both sides to cooperate? Probably infrastructure and maybe energy, construction, agriculture. There are many common, very successful spheres. We have mining and telecommunication. How do you assess this particular cooperation to flourish?
Congo is a very rich country when it comes to natural resources, and Congo is suffering from what you call it, that internal conflict in the eastern of Congo. Egypt is ready, and His Excellency President Sisi promised Mr. President of Congo that Egypt is going to support Congo on every aspect of its life. For example, there is a memorandum of understanding between the two countries has been signed regarding trade, and regarding another one regarding infrastructure projects, and the third one regarding health. And obviously there is a lot of students coming from Congo to study in Egypt. So the cooperation between Cairo and Kinshasa is quite clear, and it's going to be for the benefits of both peoples in Cairo and in Kinshasa.
Could this visit, according to your own assessment, mark the beginning of major, probably Egyptian participation in projects like infrastructure with the Democratic Republic of Congo, especially that they need that particular, they are in dire need for it?
Egypt has proved great success during the last 10 years in the energy projects, infrastructure projects, and power station as well. So President Sisi offered President of Congo that Egypt is ready and willing to extend its knowledge and know-how to help that country restore stability and sustainable development.
So what type of mechanisms are being established to ensure the agreements of memorandum of understandings that were signed between both sides to translate it into tangible achievements rather than remaining over the papers?
Here I have to refer to the joint committee between Egypt and Congo, and the joint committee has been highly appreciated and highly encouraged by both presidents to extend its positive output all over the country of Congo. And for sure, the next few years are going to witness great cooperation between Egyptian private sector companies and Congo, different projects, and I'm sure that the cooperation between Cairo and Kinshasa is going to pay off for both countries.
His Excellency President Sisi have reiterated Egypt's support, full support and sovereignty for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Democratic Republic of Congo. What exactly are the practical forms could this support be taking as a shape amid the ongoing instability inside eastern Congo?
President Sisi said it clearly that Egypt is supporting the Doha initiative and Washington initiative, peace initiatives regarding the conflict in eastern Congo. And President Sisi assured the President of Congo that the stability and integrity and sovereignty of Congo is atop in the agenda for both countries.
So how do Cairo and Kinshasa assess the current security situation in eastern Congo, particularly when it comes to the armed groups and cross-border security challenges?
I have to tell you that since 1960s, when Congo has got independence from the Belgian occupation and colony, a lot of multinational companies are really making sure that they abuse the natural resources of Congo. And that conflict in eastern Congo is just to deflect the concentration of the central government from the sustainable developing projects to fight such military conflicts. So Egypt is standing firmly behind the government of Congo and standing firmly behind the president, and they have agreed that all the defense and security expertise of Egypt is going to be at the disposal of the Democratic Republic of Congo.
We all know that Egypt supports the implementation of the Washington-Doha agreements. What specific contributions could Egypt be able to make to facilitate this particular peace process?
About more than 10-15 years ago, Egypt was part of the UN peacekeeping forces in Congo. And now Egypt is willing and ready to extend its hand to help the legitimate government in Kinshasa to impose its power and its control all over the parts of the republic.
Could Egypt be able to play a larger mediation role in the Great Lakes region, given its diplomatic credibility and depth inside Africa?
Definitely. Egypt is doing that through the African Union and through the different security organization of the African Union. For sure, this sort of close relation between the president of Congo and the president of Egypt are going to help a lot to impose security and stability in that country.
What exactly are the broader regional implications if peace efforts in Eastern Congo succeed or fail?
If it fails, it's going to create another what you call it, another point of unrest and conflict. But they have no choice but to help the central government impose its control all over the parts of Congo, because the greater lake is very close there, and Congo is not just a small country. It has got its political and geographical importance, which is going to affect the neighboring country as well.
How concerned could Egypt be about the humanitarian consequences of the conflict there, including, of course, the displacement of those people inside and the refugee flows and the African peace and security at large?
Yeah, this is a good point which you are referring at. Egypt has promised to sign a draft of memorandum of understanding to establish a wing of cardiological services in Kinshasa, and Egypt has got great experience when it deals with immigration and illegal immigration. So Egypt is going to help that country in that part of its, what you call it, national security issue, refugees and illegal immigration.
Actually, President Tshisekedi hailed profoundly Egypt's efforts to promote peace across Africa. How has Egypt's role in conflicts in particular and have sorted out problems and have succeeded in effecting peace and security ever since Egypt, probably since 2019, have assumed the chairmanship of the African Union?
I have to tell you that consider its mechanism toward the African internal conflicts. If you look at the situation in Africa, look at the neighboring country, Sudan, Libya, Somalia, Congo and others, and I don't think that the African Union is doing a good job, and that's really affecting the ability of Egypt to extend its solid intervention, as they say. Because, and I can give you an example, if Israel is going to Somaliland and recognizing a separate part of the Somalia, and African Union is just watching. It doesn't help at all that you ignore such violation of the international law from the country which is hosting the African Union, which is Ethiopia. So regarding the conflicts in Africa, Egypt is doing its best, but the African Union has got to reconsider its politics and its mechanism toward internal conflicts in so many different African countries.
Egypt could be a very good nominate, or probably Egypt is the only country stable with the good national security, a good vision, a good relatively developing economy and all that. So Egypt could be nominated to be the only country who could become a bridge between North Africa, the Horn of Africa, Central Africa, in probably many issues, amongst them, for example, in addressing continental security challenges.
Yeah.
So do you expect that role to be taken in the near future?
Actually, the Cairo administration has started to answer your question. That great project, which is Cairo-Cape Town corridor. Cairo-Cape Town corridor is a way to link the Middle Africa with North Africa and to bridge or connect Africa at large with Europe. So that road is going to start from Alexandria all the way to Cape Town in South Africa. And you know that a lot of African countries are locked inside without any windows to the sea. So Egypt has started that geographical project. Number two, the Egyptian strategy toward Africa is clear. Now we are hosting this month, 26 I think, in Al-Alamein, 2 major African events. And Egypt is very much aware that Africa belongs to Egypt and Egypt belongs to Africa. So a lot of strategic what you call it, politics and events are happening, and so I do appreciate very much what the Egyptian foreign minister is doing by visiting African countries, by hosting events in Egypt, and we're going to see the output of that very soon.
How can African-led solutions become more effective in resolving African conflicts without excessive dependence on external actors?
That depends upon the rational African governments. That means you should have governments in Africa which recognize the reality or the real needs of the African people. Education is very poor, medical or health services are very poor, job opportunities are very poor, so you cannot run a country with such de facto factors. So it depends upon rational governments in Africa, which is going to take the resources of that each country and give it to the people. Education, health, security, job opportunities, housing. So I believe very much that the issue is a failure in governing in Africa.
On that note, of course, I would like to thank you so much, Dr. Nabil Nagem, International Relations Expert. It has been a great pleasure having you on the program.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for your valuable input. We're going to go to a short break and we'll come to continue the show, so stay with us.